And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, the star of Universal Pictures movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Kevin James.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
And good evening and welcome to Moonlight Racing League's Friday Night Thunder. Tonight we come to Iowa Speedway, week 4 of our Friday Night Thunder ARCA series here at MRL. I'm your host, Snake, and with me in the booth tonight I have Smokin' Joe. Good to see you, Smokin' Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's good that we finally figured out the whole nickname thing. I know old Mean Gene over there was really bent up about trying to find a new one since I'm not producing most of the time when I'm doing the broadcast kind of stuff. So I'm glad we finally got that figured out, and I'm glad we got some good action here at a short track here tonight here at Iowa.
Yeah, tonight we scale it back to a nice mile speedway layout here in the cornfields of Iowa. Gonna have some really good track temps tonight. Weather 75 degrees outside, a low humidity, a slight breeze. So I think all in all, the track's gonna have some good grip as we transition into the evening hours here. So really looking forward to some good action here after last week at Kansas. So what are you anticipating tonight, Smokin' Joe?
Well, I definitely want to see how these guys are going to handle the first true short track challenge of the year. You know, we did go to Phoenix a few weeks ago, but it was a different kind of race there. You know, it's a lot more open. There's a lot more places to go with the car. So, you know, you can make a lot more moves happen. Even though this is a bit of a multi-groove track as well, it is a lot more compacted with how these guys will be racing. As you can already see here in practice, how these guys are driving, just how close it can really get. Way different than what we did at Phoenix. This is going to be the first true short track challenge of the year for these guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how it's going to unfold tonight here. Just a little recap here. Points as they run after week 3 at Kansas. You see our top 5 here. You have Joseph Volpus in the lead here. He's going to be our points leader. Stephen Neal trailing 7 behind him. Billy Brickley in 3rd. Steve Lewis 14 points back. And Colin Bollinger, he's 17 points back. That's going to round out your top 5. So early in the season, you know, you see some really good battles brewing for the points. As you see that red cutoff line after 10th place of Sean Walton there. As we continue to progress in the season, yeah, being in that top 10 is going to be big for playoff implications. Can you tell us more about that, Joe?
Yep, so just like on Wednesdays, it is a chase format here on Fridays as well. So with that, it's a bit of a different kind of format of how we're going to get the top 12 drivers into the chase. So the top 10 on points are going to be locked in no matter what. And then very similar to the 2011 through 2013 format in the NASCAR Cup Series from real life, you will see the 11th and 12th places taken up by guys outside the top 10 with a win. And if there's guys outside the top 10 that do not have a win or do not qualify with enough minimum starts, then those 2 spots will then go to drivers with the most points. So 11th and 12th in the points at that point.
So we're going to turn back the clock on the point system. That's actually one of the kind of point systems that I actually preferred in comparison to the modern playoff system that NASCAR does run. So be really curious to see how that works out. Going to be very exciting as each point is going to be extremely valuable, as we see Tommy Fox there putting down a burner and qualifying there. Matt Tucker now in the 35. So, yeah, I'm really, really excited how that's going to play out. We'll be going green here shortly. Good to see Jake O'Shea out there. That 7 car looking fantastic. Looks like he's had a little number change.
Yeah, so we definitely had a couple number changes coming into this week. So you saw there Jake O'Shea has gone from the 8 to the 7. We also had a couple other changes. David Owens going from the 11 to the 8, and Tom Lester went from the 7 to the 11. So we'll see those guys out on track, see what they're cooking up here today. I don't think Tom Lester is with us for this race, so we'll just see Jay Gachet and David Owens in their new car numbers for tonight's race. Looks like qualifying is there's David Owens right now. Actually, qualifying's getting pretty well underway. Joe Volpus to the top of the board with pretty much an identical lap time to what he ran in practice, actually. So we'll see if that's enough to hold off David Owens, who did best him in practice.
Pretty sharp looking paint schemes, a little bit of nice housekeeping to clean up there. Yeah, that NOS Energy 8. Now I'm going to have to get used to seeing the number 8 on the track when David Owens exclusively was running the 11 car in every series that we've covered here in Moonlight. Nice chrome 8 on there. So, yeah, Ford Mustang looking sharp tonight. We'll round out qualifying here, see if Joe Volpus can score himself the pole there. Still have a few more takers to run their qualifying laps.
It looks like the 60 got a little bit loose there coming out of 4. That may have cost him a chance at getting the top spot. He came out of there 4th. So definitely might be disappointed with that. May have thought he had a chance at the pole. But let's see if how the 8 comes off turn 4 here. Oh, he's getting a little loose himself.
And looks like he's going to steal it from Joe Volpus by the skin of his teeth by 0.02 of a second.
Great qualifying run there. Definitely seeing some tight times there at the top. Look at how tight everybody is. It looks like if we look, I think the top 8 right now are all in the 22.9 bracket, which is pretty incredible to just see how tight all these times are throughout the whole field right now for all these guys. Looks like we have Matt Novella. He just came freshly off that victory at Kansas last week. Looks like he's back in action, trying to get his way up the point standings. He's one of those wild card drivers right now with his race win.
Apparently, he saved big money at Menards there. He's the sponsor holder paint scheme there for the ARCA Menards series. Matt Novella, no stranger to victory lane, looking sharp in that 56 tonight. And it looks like he is going to make a top 10 effort with his qualifying. But back to your point, Joe, a lot of parity in the field here, a lot of close relative lap times. So I see it's going to be some real close racing tonight. I think they're going to be bunched up. I can't wait to see the action here when we go green.
See Jonathan Casabir, looks like he just completed his run. Looks like it'll be 13th for him, and it looks like Richard Swingle might need to get some Aflac. It looks like he's parked it there. You can't park there, Richard.
Yeah, that the General tires are really good. I just would have liked to see him maybe park it behind the pit wall instead of on the racing surface there. So Richard Swingle going to figure it out, as we saw Steve Lewis there kind of skate around him. Looks like all the cars have qualified, so we're about to go green here. Any thoughts about Iowa, Joe? What should we anticipate here in the opening laps when we go green?
Well, we did do a recruitment race here earlier before the season started, so we may see some sort of comparisons to that where the race got a bit spread out over time. Not really sure how it's going to play out here, though. As you can see those results, look at how tight all those times are.
Yeah.
The top 8 all running in the 22.9 second bracket. Sean Walton barely missing out there in 9th.
It looks like the top 16 actually went out there, qualified, put down a time. The rest of the field decided to start from the back. I think clean air is very important here, but with any kind of short track kind of racing setup, it's all about kind of navigating the field and just seeing if you can nip a spot at a time there. Looks like we have 20 entries for tonight's race, so we're going to have a nice even number of 20 in the field tonight. A little bit down from the past few weeks, but as we transition into the summer months here, some guys will miss a race here or there, but we should have a really, really large field every week. So we shall see what we can do with 20 tonight.
Yeah, the guy that I'm looking out for here, I'm looking towards that midfield right now and seeing who's starting around there. So we got Matt Novella in 8th. He's usually not great on qualifying. He's more on race pace. Sean Walden's been very, very fast when it comes to these ARCA cars, getting the win earlier this year at Auto Club. Billy Brickley has been up front, contending for these wins at the end of races as well. So those guys starting 8th, 9th, and 10th are the guys I'm looking out for to see if they can get to the front there, see.
Absolutely. And looking further back in the field, you mentioned Quesabir and our own Buddy Solly there. Buddy always fast, consistent lap times. David Brenner, another one, another really staunch competitor. So I like to see these guys weave their way through the field, see how they go as they hit race pace here. But it looks like the pace car is going to lead us out onto the racing surface here, and we're going to grid up.
All right, well, we're going to have 2 pace laps since it is a short track. Look at all these beautiful paint schemes pull out onto the racetrack. So great to see everybody driving some new paint schemes. Some new car numbers, some new paint schemes for some other drivers. I just love seeing all these wonderful paint schemes. We're going to be so nice to see them under the lights here at Iowa and see everybody shine, hopefully, here this evening.
I like the variety. I do. I like all the different colors. I like all the combinations. I like a lot of the throwback nods to the last generation of drivers and cars. So yeah, pretty excited here. A lot of eye candy on the track, and there's going to be a lot of action here once the pace car releases the field. So I'm excited to go racing here in America's heartland. Iowa, let's go.
Yep, it's going to be very interesting to see. So David Owens is elected to take the inside here. We're going to see if that's the way to go for restarts and starts here tonight, or if the outside is going to be prevailing more. If you remember a few weeks ago, we saw just how much one line prevailed over the other at Auto Club.
Yes, absolutely, and to the extent at Kansas as well, the high line was the dominant line. I would imagine you could make some moves here on the low line, maybe to preserve some tire, but I'm curious to see what Vulpes can do outside there. Pace lights are off the pace car, so we will be going green here momentarily as we enter turn 3. The sun is setting, so we will be under the lights here within a matter of laps, and pace car is off, so we're going to hit the Geico restart zone. David Owens fires off. Let's go racing on a Friday night. Here's the thunder as we go green.
All right, here we go, down into turn 1. Let's see what we got for tonight. Looks like the 6 car is going to take the outside. I think I saw a car spinning back there. See, I think we got a wreck in the back of the field. Caution's out.
Already. Lap 1. We didn't even get out of turn 1 and 2. We have our first caution of the evening. Got to watch out, we were tightly packed, cold tires. I'm really curious to see what happened there, as we did not make a lap yet. So we'll go back and check out a replay here. And looking back here, it looks like the field is formed, coming up to speed. And as we enter 1 and 2, it looks like Jake O'Shea goes up a little high. Steve Lewis drives down, and the car can't do that. And
no, you know what those guys forgot there? See, they forgot the golden rule of racing. You know what that is?
Tell us, Joe. What's the golden rule?
You cannot win the race on lap 1, especially in turn 1.
These words sound very familiar. I think I've heard them somewhere before. I think I may have even said them before. But yeah, lap 1, turn 1, we have our first caution of the evening. A few cars caught up in the crossfire. Burt Wilson going to enter pit road there. Take a look at his car, see what's going on there. Jake O'Shea obviously had damage. David Brenner going to go and get his car looked at. Steve Lewis, I would imagine, he took some contact. So he's elected to stay out on the track, and I guess his spotter said that he'd be okay. But as you can see, looks fairly clean. So hopefully no harm, no foul. It's just lap 1. The beauty of this ARCA series is there is one fast repair available, but you kind of want to keep that in your pocket. You don't want to use that in the first lap of the race, Joe.
Yeah, that is correct. So I'm looking at these pit times right now. Burt Wilson and Jake O'Shea about 5-second pit stops. So maybe they just wanted to check, make sure they didn't have any damage. I don't think they had enough for a fast repair, but it is possible they may have used it there on accident. David Brenner looks like a 25-second pit stop, so definitely he was fixing damage and not going for the strategy of using a fast repair. Looks like a couple other guys coming down pit road now as well.
Yeah, anytime a fast repair is in play, I always try to deselect that on the outlap just in case something happens and you forget during a pit cycle and you waste that fast repair. So I always want to make sure and be cognizant of that. So Some guys may be topping off a little fuel here, as we really didn't burn much. Other guys checking out damage, so we'll just try to rack them up one more time and see if we can fire off clean here. So David Owens will get credit for leading the first lap, as he takes the point on the caution here. Joe Volpus in second, Matt Tucker there in third, and we'll see what we have in store. Usually the Mayhem is on Monday nights, but it looks like we're going to bring the Thunder on Fridays for sure. So I'm curious to see what Jay Stinson's going to do in that Venom Racing 60 car as well. And we alluded to the qualifying there. He had a lot of speed, a little slip on exit out of 4, and, he may have had the pole. So he's right up there, has a front row seat. Curious to see what Venom Racing has in store tonight.
Yeah, definitely going to see if we can get some long green flag runs in. So tonight the fuel run is about 50 or so laps. We have 2 additional sets of tires. So 2 in the pits, 1 on the car for 3 total. And it looks like David Owens is taking the outside here as well. So I think we're already seeing what we saw at Auto Club there, see.
It's going to be another high line kind of track. Looks like from the brief bit of practice and the one half a green lap that we had, you could see like there's a lot of momentum on the outside. So if you want to kind of ride the wall there, you may have an advantage. Just got to take care of those tires. Lights are off the pace car again, so we anticipate going green here. Going to enter the Geico restart zone. David Owens taking a lead. He fires off clean. Gets himself some nice separation on that restart. Joe Volpus holding down the bottom there. He got a pretty good start as well. It looks like everybody fired off clean. Matt Tucker searching around there in third with Stinson there. And it looks like we have... we got through 1 and 2, Joe. Look at that. We got through 1 and 2. Very excited here.
Oh, they're already getting racy, though, here in the back. Sean Walton going to take it through the middle. 3 wide, and maybe a little contact with the 44 coming out of 4.
Yeah, 44 cut him a little break there, and I think Matt Novella kind of...
The 56 is not having a break, though.
And as I was just going to say, he kind of cut Walton a break. He gets caught up in a little incident there. Looks like he drove across the nose of Jonathan Casebeer there. We'll have to go and maybe get a look at the replay there, but it looked like here, if we can just float back here. Yep. So you see Walton going for it there, and Matt Novella just kind of turned across the nose of Casebeer there. I don't think Casebeer did anything wrong in that moment there. Just a little racing incident there.
Definitely not what you want to see. We're definitely not trending in the right direction here, though. We got 2 cautions in the first 10 laps. That's usually not a very good sign for the way the race is going to go. Hopefully these guys can get settled in here and we can get some good racing going.
Yeah, definitely want to turn over a new leaf. There were a lot of caution flags at Kansas last week, a fair amount of them at Auto Club the week prior. So hopefully, we can get some chemistry as David Owens fakes entering the pit there, but nobody bit. So he'll retain the lead. Casebeer going to enter the pitch just to check on some damage there. Burt Wilson looks like he might be going in there maybe to top off some fuel. Some guys in the back of the field maybe just get a little splash and go there. See if that has any advantage. Hard to say with how tire wear may play out tonight.
Yeah, we don't have enough data on that at all. We're only 8 laps into the race. We've run maybe 2 total green flag laps on these tires to this point. So these guys are just going to be checking the damage, making sure their car isn't messed up any, and just want to make sure that we're not hindering ourselves by driving a damaged race car. So it looks like some guys fixing damage. Casebeer, you see him, his time's going up and up and up. Same with Matt Novella. Those two definitely have some damage here to fix.
So they're going to work on their damage a little bit, try to hold on to that fast repair. It's still early in the race, so you can afford to start from the back. It's still quite early. No stage break in the Friday night series, so we're gonna keep running at green. So there's really no strategy at play there per se. As you see both guys fire up, they don't want to get caught a lap down as the pace car brings them around. So looks like both of those cars will be able to continue. We'll see how the damage affects their performance when we go back to racing.
Looks like I saw another car dive down pit road. Richard Swingle has decided to make a pit stop here. Going to bring that Aflac 97 into his pit stall. Looks like he might be just taking a little bit of fuel, and he's out and away.
Little splash and dash for the East Coast Alliance own Richard Swingle, 97 looking sharp. As we all know, he's a very avid Kurt Busch fan. Sad to see how Kurt ended his NASCAR career via the next gen car. So a nice homage to the 97 there, Richard Swingle tonight.
Yep. Let's see if the 8 car chooses the outside. Will David Owens take the outside here? Yes or no, C?
You know, if I were to say no, I'd be a liar, Joe. So I'm going to say he's going to ride high here. Looks like he's already kind of made the point. So he's gonna stick up top. Vulpes is going to take the bottom. We're going to have Matt Tucker on the bottom, Daniel Plant Smith on the outside in 4th. Up. Well, hey now, didn't they already pass the choose cone?
Looks like maybe some miscommunication between the front row on who wanted what row.
Oh, I have to get confirmation from race control there, but David Owens made a monkey out of me, so there you have it, folks. So the joke's on me, as he's going to start from the inside this time around. Vulpes takes the outside, Matt Tucker on the inside behind David Owens, Daniel Plant Smith on the outside behind Joe Vulpes in that 31. Jay Stinson rounds out your top 5. Tommy Fox in that beautiful green machine up there in 6th place. Pace lights are off. That old Ford Mustang is going to dip into the pits, and let's see if 3rd time's the charm. Enter the Geico restart zone. David Owens fires off, gets a clean restart. Highline has a little bit better of a restart there. It looks like they stayed formed up pretty good. David Owens takes him into 1 and 2. Matt Tucker challenging Joe Vulpes for 2nd on exit of turn 2 on the backstretch. Going to side draft him good, but it looks like Vulpes will have the advantage entering turn 3. Matt Tucker holding his own on the bottom there, trying to make the bottom work. I think the bottom will be good for a few laps there, but you can see the momentum carry Vulpes, and he'll take the position. Got through a lap there, Joe. Looks like we're going to stay green, so knock on wood, fingers crossed here, as has a little bit of action between Daniel Plant Smith and Jay Stinson going for that 4th place position there behind our leaders.
Yeah, definitely got some good side-by-side racing going on throughout the field. You see right behind them, Matt Fritz and Sean Walden also going side-by-side, looks like for 7th place. And they got Tommy Fox in tow with them. And then you got Steve Lewis and Buddy Solly battling for the tail end of the top 10 right now, 10th and 11th. So they actually have a bit of a breakaway from the cars behind them. Glenn Jamieson on back. They're about a 2nd back. So it looks like these top 11 here have broken away from everybody else. And then the rest of the field's pretty spread out behind them.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit better of a restart there. Everybody kind of spread out, got themselves situated, established their position a little bit more quickly and cleanly. So I think if they just kind of want to follow each other in line, and let's just try to get a few laps under us, see what the car has for us tonight, see how the tires are going to wear. And I think let's just be smart about that. You have 125 laps tonight. We're only on lap 16, and we've had 2 cautions already. So I think it's good to try to get the car underneath you, see what you have tonight, as we see Sean Walton there in that 23. Really like the way that car looks tonight, that Toyota Camry, challenging Daniel Plant Smith there for 7th place in 6th place. Tommy Fox just there lurking. And behind them, like I said, you said Matthew Fritz, Venom Racing again. He's having a good showing here in the top 10 early, as Steve Lewis rides outside on the high line there. So a lot of good action up here. Your top 10 kind of broke away from the rest of the field.
Like we've got a change for the lead up front. The 6 car is going to take the lead. It looks like David Owens is now under pressure from Jay Stinson and Matt Tucker behind him as well.
Joe Vulpes, your new leader, so he's going to get credit for a lap led there. So, definitely kudos to Joe there, looking really good in that classic Roush Racing livery back in the days of Mark Martin, and then later on Ryan Newman. I love that 6 font. Always love those Roush cars. So Joe Vulpes, your new leader. David Owens in 2nd place. You have Matt Tucker and Jay Stinson there battling for 3rd. Good side-by-side action there. And you see old Billy Brickley there in that 44. He's just kind of sniffing there in top 5. So Billy Brickley there just kind of just riding along and seeing him go at it and make them abuse their equipment. He'll be the opportunist tonight.
Yeah, Billy Brickley, Sean Walden, and Tommy Fox were all faster than the 3 cars directly in front of them. So they're definitely trying to work their way into the top 5. As you see Daniel Plant Smith here battling with Matt Fritz for that 8th position. some good side-by-side racing right in front of Steve Lewis.
Steve Lewis in the 88, the Air Louis machine tonight. He wants to get himself in the mix. Got that sexy MRL broadcasting logo on the hood there. Easy for me to say. But Steve Lewis, he was able to brave those tornadoes in Missouri. Our hearts go out to those in Missouri and Kentucky affected by those horrible, horrible events that unfolded yesterday. So we're just hoping and praying that everybody is going to be okay, and just hearts go out for those that did perish. But Steve Lewis in that 88 machine, definitely a staunch competitor. I love the way he handles and wheels that race car around. And he does say that real men do wear pink. So there you have it, guys.
That is very, very true. That is what he does say. So I'm looking right now at the lap times. Right now, the fastest car on the track is actually 12th place Glenn Jameson on that last lap. So he's trying to close in on this group in front of him as well, maybe get into that battle for the top 10.
Anybody have a shot at Jameson handy?
You see the 63 car right there. What a beautiful paint scheme he's got going there, the red and blue 63 Ford. Looks like he's trying to get his way up to the back of Daniel Plant-Smith and the back of Buddy Sully as well and get into that top 10, as it looks like there's some shuffling going on there right around 5th place with Billy Brickley, Tommy Fox, and Sean Walden. It looks like they might be shuffling around trying to figure out who's the fastest out of them.
I think so. You know, it's definitely where a lot of the action has been. This little group right here. You know, you got your 5th through 10th place. It's been a nice little battle. Look at Tommy on the outside there. I really like seeing. He's looking really racing tonight. Really racy tonight there. Walton said, "Here, you can have the position for now." You know, and I think it might be a matter of maybe just letting people go. You know, and just trying to manage your equipment for the long run. You know, you might not want to burn your stuff up here early.
I think Joe's kind of struggling with his car right now. As Jake Simpson sticks to his inside, they're going to do a crossover, moving to 1. Battle for the lead.
Looks like Stinson gets credit for that lap led as Joe Volpus does the crossover. Will he pull the slide job? I don't think he has enough room to execute that. Jay Stinson holding steady on the high line there. David Owens there lurking back there. See if he can maybe thread the needle there. And side-by-side action here as we come to the line here. Lap 27 of 125 tonight on your Friday Night Thunder. Jay Stinson, your leader in that 60 car.
Man, it's crazy how tight these guys all are from 1st to 8th within a second of each other right now. It's kind of crazy that we have this many cars that close to each other. You don't usually see that at a short track like that. Look at that shot of all these cars on top of each other.
Wow, that's awesome. Really tight racing. Look at these guys going for it. I'm loving this. You have this top 8 right there, just front nose to tail. And it just keeping it clean, just not nosing, nudging around, just looking for clean air, and just holding it together. This is great racing.
Yeah, you can see the 35 looks like he's trying to make a move, maybe trying to get around the 8. Instead, the 44 is going to set up a move on the 35 here. Billy Brickley going to try and move his way forward.
Billy Brickley on the outside carrying out momentum. He's going to get by Matt Tucker there as David Owens slides up in front of him, try to give him a little dirty air, but Billy Brickley trying to make some moves as he drops down below David Owens there. David Owens going to take the middle line. Joe Volpus up top. They're kind of letting Jay Stinson get away from him a little bit, and you see Joe Volpus retains 2nd place as David Owens holds steady in 3rd. Billy Brickley trapped down on the bottom as Matt Tucker tries the high line on the outside to get the momentum, but Brickley's going to shut the door on him, and then we're going to try the crossover on the bottom. This is exciting, Joe. This is what racing's all about.
The one thing I'm looking at as these guys get really tight there off turn 4 is Jay Stinson is about a 10th faster that last lap, and then that lap he was just under a 10th faster than Volpus. So he is pulling a bit of a gap right now on the rest of the field. So we're going to pay attention to that, see if maybe Jay can run away from these guys.
Jay Stinson out to about a 6-car length lead there as Joe Volpus trying to run a different line, trying to find some clean air, trying to find some momentum to try to reel him back in. David Owens putting the pressure there in 3rd, riding behind him there. As you see Sean Walton slide into the picture. Sean Walton entering the picture there, fighting with Billy Brickley there for 4th place. Matthew Fritz as well. He said, "I'm feeling frisky tonight, so let's go."
Yeah, definitely going to see these guys just swap positions a lot, it looks like, tonight, with how tight the racing is. David Owens making a move for second place, it looks like, maybe on Joe Volpus down here in turn one. Man, look, these guys are just battling all over the place up front. They're pretty much side by side by side by side.
They are not satisfied tonight as we just play hopscotch with it. This is fantastic. David Owens trying to make that bottom work as you see sparks come out of that Joe Volpus 6 machine. Did he maybe graze the wall a little bit, Joe?
Oh, well, we're grazing the wall now and a little bit more.
Contact with the 8 of David Owens, and the 6 is the 88 goes for bumper cars. Are we going to see a caution flag here? That was a lot of contact. Yellow is out for the third time tonight on lap 34 as we see an incident between our second and third place competitors of the 8 of David Owens and the 6 of Joe Volpus. Wow, that was an incredible stretch of green flag racing, Joe. I'm really curious to see the replay there as I have my theories on what unfolded. So as we go here, you see David Owens there. Joe Volpus has the high line established, and I think Owens just got a little high and lazy with his corner entry there, and I think the 6 was already there. So incidental contact, just a shame to see, and they're going to have to go and get some repairs done. And it looks like the majority field here is going to pit. Joe, is it too early for tires, or are we just going to do some fuel and go?
I think we could see a split decision here. We got 90 to go in the race, so we can make it a one stop from here. So if guys are expecting this race to have a green feel to it, I'd put on a set of tires here and then take your last set with about 40 to go or so. We'll see what everybody does. If everybody's thinking there's going to be a caution-filled race, so they're just going to take fuel only. You see the 60 car there. He took fuel only. Looks like, let's take a look here at these pit times.
Absolutely. Looks like a lot of these guys just took fuel only.
Yeah, so looking at the guys that took tires. So, let's see. If I'm looking towards the front, looks like Tommy Fox stayed out there for certain. Jack Duvall stayed out.
Lap lead tonight. Duvall trying to get some track position.
Richard Swingle stayed out. First car out of pit road was Stinson. He had a 7-second stop. That's fuel only. Matt Fritz, fuel only. Billy Brickley, the first one on tires. He had a 14.8 second pit stop. Daniel Smith had a 9.8 second pit stop. So definitely curious to see if maybe he took 2 tires or if he took fuel only and maybe a little damage fix. David Brenner had a 2.2 second stop. So very quick splash and go. Sean Walden put tires on. Matt Tucker put tires on. Looks like Buddy Sully put tires on. Same with Glenn Jameson, Burt Wilson as well. Joe Volpus looks like his pit time would say he put tires on, but I think they were checking the damage.
Yeah, he's come back in.
David Owens.
Looks like Volpus back in to assess the damage, as is David Owens. So I don't know if they're going to use the fast repair or they're just trying to use a little bit of time to tinker as Volpus exit the pits. So I don't know if that was a case of using the fast repair there. David Owens here, he's going to come back into the pits as he is lazily enters his stall there. Looks like he's going to get some work done on the car, and he's back out.
Yeah, definitely looking at both their pit times. Those definitely look like fast repairs, especially seeing the back end of David Owens' car pop out. So those guys definitely just used their fast repairs, but I don't believe they put tires on. I think they were just assessing damage. So we're going to see here where everybody lines up tire-wise. So right now, the one person that has not pitted is your leader, Tommy Fox, as we get lined up here, ready to go green here.
Bold move by Tommy Fox, but there may not be quite the fall-off with the tires as we see at other tracks. And I've noticed as we've gone with this ARCA car, even though it's early in the season, the first few tracks, that the tire fall off really isn't there relative to other series that we run. So, whether you put on 2 or you just kind of stretch out the fuel run a little bit, tires might not be all they're cracked up to be as they are in the other series that we run.
All right, here we go. Pace car's coming off turn number 4. There it goes into the pit lane, into the Geico restart zone. Tommy Fox gets away clean, and a great restart for him here. See, it looks like he's going to have a huge lead into turn 1.
Tommy Fox shot out of a cannon. Jax Duvall is just left watching him as we see Tommy Fox leading tonight's race as we go green back on lap 39. Jax Duvall in the 84 in that Goldfish machine is going to be looking on the inside there, see if he can kind of work the bottom. I don't think he's going to have the momentum to clear him. As you see Richard Swingle there holding third place. Slowing up Jay Stinson and some of the others there. You see Sean Walton dropping to the bottom there. Sean wants a piece of the action, as does Billy Brickley. So you might see some of those guys on new tires try to get an advantage before the tires equalize. Daniel Plant-Smith working the bottom as well. You can work early in the run on the bottom, but as we've seen, evidenced by the first green flag run, the high line is where it's at tonight, Joe.
Yeah, definitely want to be on the high line if you want to get the momentum rolling. Look at this 35 all over the back of the 60 there.
Giving Jay Stinson a push in that 60 car. Said, come on, let's get up on that wheel. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely going to see how this plays out. Looks like Matt Tucker is going to let him go to the outside of him. And it looks like they might be thinking about going 3 wide here into turn 1. No, they're going to take better of it.
Yeah, you know, no, they're going 3 wide. They're going 3 wide. Smith on the bottom, Tucker in the middle, Stinson on the outside. Tucker gets that little nudge, gets the position. He'll stay on the outside as we see a heck of a battle there with Tommy Fox just kind of leading them all along. Sean Walton on the bottom in second with Jax Duvall up top for second place there. Quite a battle behind our leader. And you see Billy Brickley working the bottom. So we're really bunched up. 3 wide again. 3 wide action on the backstretch. We have with Smith and Tucker, Swingle. I mean, it's anybody's guess at this point. It's madness down there.
They're just going to keep taking him 3 wide. Richard Swingle is not having a good time on those older tires. They're just going to keep taking him 3 wide, middle, 3 wide top. Looks like Richard Swingle's going to try and find an escape hatch out of this battle right now.
Hemorrhaging positions, you just got to let the guys go with the fresh rubber at this point. Too early to put up a fight. It was a very noble effort on his part, but live to fight another day. As you see Sean Walton, our new leader, Sean Walton in that 23 car tonight. That Toyota Camry looking fast. Matt Tucker in second place, Billy Brickley third, Daniel Plant-Smith fourth, and Tommy Fox starting to do a little bit of the slide as he and Jax Duvall are going for that 5th place position.
Yeah, those top 3 are definitely on 4 tires. Based on the way Daniel Smith has come through the field, I have to assume he's on 2. So fresh tires for the top 4, I would assume. 4 for the front 3, and then I would assume Plant-Smith with his pit time and his speed at the moment is on 2. So definitely seeing the fresh tire advantage here at the moment. So, this might be something to think about later in the race if we do have a caution, with maybe 15 or 20 to go, that tires actually do matter this week in order to get through the field.
I think they do, and even if you just take 2, the left sides may not wear as much, but clearly you can see fresh rubber definitely has an advantage, and it looks like Sean Walton is just kind of leading here. As you see, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, just trying to jockey for position there. But they're starting to pull away a little bit. And you look further back in the top 10 here, David Owens trying to climb back through the field after being involved in that incident. Joe Volpis back there as well. It gets a little tough in traffic there because now you have guys on old tires, new tires. So it gets a little bit more difficult to navigate through the field like when we started with everybody on a fresh set of rubber.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to play the game of get in front of as many of the guys on old tires, on equal tires with them as possible before the next pit stop, unless there's a caution. Track position is going to be key in order to make sure you're the first one to get through on fresh tires, as seen by Sean Walton being the first one through out of those 4 tire guys, able to take advantage of it and take the lead.
Absolutely. As you see Walton kind of work in the middle and then top there, just trying to block the air a little bit. Has really good pace, not pushing the car too much, just staying just enough in front so those guys kind of fight side by side to keep them out in front. So Sean Walton doing a really good job leading the field and managing the pace. Matt Tucker content to run the high side there, as I think you can kind of get in the groove up top there, and you can kind of hold the position over those on the bottom at this point. So we'll see Billy Brickley there. He's taking a look, but he'll just fall in line. Daniel Plant-Smith there. He's on the outside there. He's looking a little frisky. I think he saw something on the outside. Look at him carry it three wide. 3 wide at the line. Daniel Smith with the run. Almost a little bit of contact there, entering one with Tucker as we stay 3 wide. Heck of a battle there, and it looks like Smith is going to leapfrog those two for second place as he gets a great run there as he tries to inch back towards the bumper of Sean Walton.
Yeah, some quick housekeeping things. Jake Shea is still a lap down from that first lap incident. He's still fighting his way to hopefully get back on the lead lap here at some point. And Steve Lewis is 2 laps down after some technical difficulties. Those two are the last 2 cars in the field right now. Everyone else still on the lead lap, though, still with a good chance to do something, either with 2 sets of tires, 1 set of tires, or track position to try and get their way to victory lane here today. 53 laps done.
Well, you know, we had a few early cautions, so it's safe to say that, you know, there may be another 1 or 2, so that way the 7 car in the 88 might have an opportunity to try to get their laps back. So we'll stay tuned and we'll monitor their situation. But yes, 18 of the 20 cars still on the lead lap tonight. All within under 7 seconds of the leader. So, you know, everybody's staying pretty close together, keeping a really good pace. Sean Walton, your leader here. Matt Tucker and Daniel Smith not done battling for second place as we see Tucker take the position, running up top there. Billy Brickley looking up top as well. And we have Buddy Solly. We have a newcomer to our top 5, Buddy Solly in the 21 car tonight. So he's kind of just been quietly lurking, minding his business, and surprise, folks, here he is.
Yeah, definitely taking 4 tires as well. So he's taking advantage of those freshies that he has. And now looking at the times, 6 of the top 6 are all on tires. And the only one that looks like hasn't made his way up there completely yet is Burt Wilson, who's up to 8th, but still has a couple of the guys on old tires to get around. You see him struggling there, trying to get around Jax Duvall and Tommy Fox.
Yeah, Jax Duvall never an easy pass. Tommy Fox always looking racy and competitive. So, you know, no position earned here in this series is going to be gained easily. As we see, the Friday Night Thunder brings out the best of everybody's abilities tonight. So. We'll keep an eye on them as well. But to your point, yeah, it looks like fresh tires and new rubber is going to be key here tonight as we see this race unfold. Not yet to halfway, so these guys still have another set of tires in their arsenal. So we'll see how far they can stretch it, and we'll just see what these guys that stayed out on old tires as Tommy Fox going to enter the pit. Tommy Fox.
Yeah, I think he's out of fuel there. See, I don't think he had any more gas left in her to keep going.
Ain't got no gas in it. It's going to be a lonely run down pit road for him as he'll fall 1 to potentially 2 laps down. So we'll see if he can try to flip the strategy on its head as Tommy Fox gets service. A lap 60 of 125 tonight.
Yeah, the thing I'd be concerned about with his strategy is looking at when most of the people pitted. They pitted on lap 35. They can make it on 1 stop if this race goes green. However, those guys that did not pit there, so Jax Duvall, the last time he pitted was on lap 10. He may be able to get it within the window to make it on 1 stop. Same with Swingle, who last pitted on lap 9. But obviously, you see Tommy Fox, he could only make it 58 laps with all those cautions. So it's going to be a task for them to be able to stretch it into a 1-stop fuel window for themselves.
And while we've been talking about all that, Sean Walton stretching his lead at 3/4 of a second. Looks like he has about a 10-car length lead over your battle for second between Matt Tucker and Billy Brickley there, as neither of those guys are willing to concede, as we have quite a battle behind them as well with Buddy Solly and Daniel Smith. So, you know, the top 5 is looking very spicy tonight. I think it might better suit their interest to maybe fall in line to catch Sean Walton instead of battling each other at this point and letting him get away.
Yeah, we're going to see how that all plays out. But it looks like maybe Billy Brickley, Matt Tucker, they can't really decide who's the fastest out of this group. That's a common problem, especially with this kind of racing. When we're racing this tight, especially on equal tires, it's very hard for these kind of disputes to get settled. And it's working out well in Sean's favor right now. He's pulled out over a second lead right now. As I
Well,
look further back in the field, actually, here, the battle for ninth is really heating up between David Owens and Jonathan Casabir. These two have been side by side. Looks like for the past couple of laps, and very similar looking paint schemes. I think if you're approaching them from behind, it might be hard to tell the difference between the two cars. Oh,
yeah.
the 84! Did you see that, Seed? The 84 had trouble getting down pit road.
Jax Duvall with a major problem entering the pits. It looks like he just missed wiping out into those barrels. Jax Duvall, another one on that alternate strategy, having to come in. He's definitely going to need 4 tires after that slide. But my goodness, Jax Duvall avoiding a tragic misfortune there. But to your point, yeah, it wouldn't be racing unless, everybody thought they had the fastest car. So, yeah, of course, they're going to look at them go 3 wide here. And, also Casabir and Owens, at a quick glance, they definitely look like they have a similar paint scheme. But it looks like the top 5 is not done. But that's been an epic fight for position there. And Sean Walton out to nearly a 2-second lead now. So, if I were these guys, I'd get over comms and try to figure this out, because you're really doing more harm than good at this point. I think any one of them would be capable of leading the rest. But here we are, and they're bringing us great entertainment right now.
Yeah, they're definitely bringing great entertainment, but they're also not doing themselves any favors in trying to catch up to Sean Walton. Actually, the guys behind them, I think, are starting to catch up to them a bit. If I take a look here at the lap times from the past few laps, Glenn Jameson and Burt Wilson, they were about 0.2 faster than Daniel Smith and Buddy Sully, so they're definitely starting to close in on them.
Yeah, so you see the Irish car bomb of Glenn Jameson there. He's definitely inching up to this top 5 battle along with Burt Wilson. So, these guys are saying, you guys keep battling, we're just going to methodically inch our way back up. We have the same laps on our tires as you do, and they're just running the high line. They're just smooth and consistent, just riding in tandem, not battling each other. And before you know it, they'll be up there in the front, the way these 2nd through 4th place cars are going at it. Sean Walton maintaining a 2-second lead over the field as we come to lap 70 of 125 tonight. We're past halfway. So, we're going to be entering that part of the race where you got to consider when's our final stop going to be? How long do you want to stay out before you get freshies? And will there be another caution, Joe?
Yeah, definitely all things you have to consider. If I'm looking at a place right now where that might happen, that party for 8th place right now is starting to grow. Jonathan Casabir, Matt Novella, and David Owens are battling hard right now. And you can just see how much they're getting involved with each other. Looks like I was watching on the leaderboard. Their positions were swapping a lot there for a few laps, so they're definitely having a throwdown here for 8th place on the track. And it looks like Novella and Owens are starting to go side by side, and Casabir is starting to get away from them. So more of a 2-car battle now than it was before.
I'll tell you what, we're going to get smashed tonight, Joe. This is a hell of a party. You got Jameson, you got a case of beer. I mean, what else do you want on a Friday Night Thunder?
Oh, yeah, you got just about everything going on throughout this field here tonight. You can definitely see just how tight this kind of racing is. Matt Novella is trying to do everything he can to get around that 8-car right now, and it's just not working for him. It's
look at that
8-car pits. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Oh, my.
I don't think he had his hand out the window to let the 56 know he was coming in for service there. That was almost the big one there, as we see David Owens coming in for service here on lap 74. I think he feels like he could stretch it out from the end here. He's going to go for a 50-lap run on that car. Joe, do you think this is wise to pit this early?
This is the very earliest you can really pit and make it to the end. We're going to see if this really plays out. Honestly, it might be a good strategy to try and see if you can jump in front of some of these guys. And then I think you're going to have to hope for a caution to pretty much get back into it. Too much time to make up for them. They were pretty much 10 seconds off the pace with where they were, so you're not going to make up 10 seconds on a few laps of fresher tires. David Owens did take 4 tires and fuel. He's away. Matt Novella looks like he just came down pit road with Jay Stinson and Matthew Fritz. So green flag pit stops are well underway here, 50 to go.
Looks like David Owens forced the rest of the field's hands, those that are outside the top 5, and those that feel like, we need to try to do something, flip around the track position a little bit. So as we see the 56 enter the pit stall clean, he's going to get his final service of the night. Matthew Fritz pits in front of him, Stinson a few stalls ahead. So really exciting to see if they get a really good clean exit, see how they recycle the field. As we see Joe Volpus entering pit road now, he's going to come in for what we perceive to be the final stop of the night.
Yep, looks like everybody's taking 4 tires and fuel as they start coming up out of pit road. Here comes the 6 car down pit road. Remember, he didn't take tires there on the initial stop either, so he fell a little bit further back. He's definitely struggling to get towards the front, and we'll see what he does here.
It looks like he's going to get 4 freshies, and he's going to feel like Superman
2
when
tires,
he
2
rejoins.
tires.
Oh, he went 2. He said right sides only, so definitely trying to shave a few seconds and gain some track position as we see Sean Walton still our leader. Volpus rejoins, see if he can battle Walton and get one of those laps back. And Billy Brickley as well here. He's in second place. Looks like Sean Walton's just keeping a really good pace. Really curious to see when our top 5 is going to come in for service there. You see these other guys that were kind of in the middle of the pack as they're going to split Sean Walton on the outside there and the inside there as they're going to get one of their laps back. Sean Walton, the meat and the sandwich there, as we see Joe Volpus and Matt Novella there battling, trying to make up some time on the track on those fresh tires. Sean Walton said, enough of that. I need service. I need fresh rubber. I need fuel. Let me keep this rampant pace I have going, as we see Billy Brickley behind him going to pit with the leader as to not give up any extra seconds on the track.
Yeah, I see a lot of guys staying out, though, here as well. Daniel Smith, Buddy Sully, and Glenn Jameson, Matt Tucker, Burt Wilson, they all stayed out that time. And it looks like Smith's going to stay out again, and none of those guys come down pit road. So the top 5 staying out for now. So they're definitely
going to get a lap back there. I think so.
They're giving an advantage there, to Sean Walton.
Absolutely. I mean, the longer Smith stays out there, and Jameson and Wilson and Tucker, they're only helping Sean Walton's cause there. And we see Matt Tucker said, you know what, this is fool's gold. Let me get my service now and not concede any more time, because you're going to be bleeding time, because you're going to have noticeably older tires. I don't think stretching it out much further is gonna be in your favor over the course of the final run.
Yeah, definitely. And you're also bleeding a lot of time to the guys behind you that have already pitted. So we're going to see that in full display here. As we look, so if you look at the guys a lap down, like I see Sean Walton's the first one right now. Looks like out of pit road still. Then Billy Brickley. David Owens right now is third net out of the guys that have pitted so far. So let's see where Matt Tucker comes out compared to him. Because he was somebody that was pretty in front of David Owens, actually. And Owens has already gone past.
Absolutely. So you can see the advantage by pitting just a few laps earlier as Jonathan Casabier comes in for service, who is having quite a battle with David Owens just a few laps ago. So he's going to give up a little bit of time by pitting later in the cycle here as Daniel Plant Smith, your current leader. But how much longer can he possibly stay out? He's just bleeding precious seconds away. My only thought is at this point is like he may be hoping for a caution, because he's got to let himself hang out there, as well as Buddy Solly and Jameson and Burt Wilson. I commend them for staying out, but I don't think it's going to work out in the long run.
Yeah, so 2 things here. They're either hoping for a caution now, or they're hedging their bets if there's a caution later, because they're not going to have any tires left after they come down and pit. So, like people like Sean Walton, of course, Billy Brickley, they took tires as well. So they're out of tire sets right now. When they put on they just put on their last set. So whatever they have for the rest of the race. Maybe the strategy is here, run this out as far as possible and hope for a caution to really help offset that. Since they won't be able to they don't have tires to take again. So if they come pit, like, let's say in the next couple of laps, right? Everything cycles through. They're going to stay out because they're going to be out of tire sets. But their tires are going to be better than Walton and Brickley, and they're going to start directly behind them. So,
Daniel
you know,
Plant
maybe
Smith coming in for service. Jameson as well. They put up the white flag. So I definitely get your point, Joe. You know, they're going to have fresher stuff later in the race as those that entered early in the window are kind of burning their stuff up right now. So, you know, Buddy Solly stays out. Burt Wilson stays out. So, looks like Buddy's going to come in for his service now. Doesn't want to concede too much time. Burt Wilson's going to stay out, get credit for a lap led tonight. Precious points. I get that. You know, there's also multiple strategies in play here. But look at Sean Walton. He's going to inherit your lead here as soon as the 70 car does get his service. So if I'm the 70, I think I want to pit real soon here because, you know, you don't want to risk get caught a lap down yourself because you waited so long to pit.
Yeah, you also don't want to run out of fuel. You know, we're getting pretty close here to being out of fuel again. You know, we've gone pretty much 55 laps here, so, you know, he's got to be thinking about pitting here for fuel before that thing runs out. I think it looks like he might be going a little bit slower. I think it might be this time.
And the 70 comes in to complete the green flag pit cycle. Really cool to see some really good cycles of green flag pit stops tonight. It's very encouraging that we didn't have to rely on yellow flags to determine when our field was going to pit. So as you can see, Sean Walton, he's going to be able to retake the lead that he conceded when he went in for his service. So Sean Walton is going to be your leader here as he crosses the line for lap 92 of 125 as we're getting down to the waning moments of the race tonight, Joe. So I'm really curious to see just how it all plays out. Who can make up some time? Can they get bunched back up together again?
Well, I'm looking at this. Sean Walton has about a 6-second lead right now over this battle for second between Billy Brickley and Daniel Plant Smith. So they're going to have a very, very large uphill battle ahead of them. But if we keep looking back, David Owens has worked his way up to fourth through all this pit strategy. He's passed Matt Tucker, who's fallen to fifth. Matt Novella's worked his way up to sixth. Joe Volpus has worked his way up to seventh. So you can just see, like, look at the guys that stayed out so long. Glenn Jameson, 9th. Buddy Sully, 10th. Jay Stinson's 11th. You see Burt Wilson back in 13th right now, 3/4 of a lap down. So these guys have all stayed out a little bit too long, it seems like. Casabier, last car in the lead lap right now in 16th. All those guys with their pit strategy definitely are on the back foot and need a caution if they want to get back into it.
I don't think there are enough laps that they can just run hot laps the rest of the way to make up that gap. So the yellow flag might be their best friend as long as they're not involved in it at this point. As you can see, Buddy Solly and Jax Duvall there, a little hold your breath moment there. I think a little difference of pace there. Jax Duvall a little surprised by the 21. As we can see, everybody made it out all right, but Glenn Jameson putting the moves on the 6th there for position, so he's going to try to get in the 7th as he's going to slide up in front of Joe Volpus in the 6th place car. You know, being caught back up in this dirty air too, you know, it's going to be hard to make up time as well, Joe, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be hard for them to overcome a lot of this track time. A lot of this track time is going to be insurmountable. I'd say if you're within 3 to 4 seconds of the guy in front of you and the tire difference is pretty large, you might have a chance to catch him. Definitely if you're under 2 seconds to those guys, though, you'll see a lot of them make those kind of passes. You see, looks like Volpus is about to lose another spot to Buddy Sully. Duvall looks like he's about to lose a spot to Jay Stinson as well. So see them, Burt Wilson in the picture right behind them. Trying to close in as well on the freshest tires, I believe.
But they got some freshies, and they're trying to push the pace, as you see Glenn Jameson getting by Matt Novella for 6th place. As you see, as we look up the leaderboard there, Daniel Plant Smith has shaved about 1.5 seconds off the advantage to Sean Walton. So he has a few lap fresher tires, a little bit of open track in front of him, so maybe he can click off some laps and close that gap some more, as it seems to be floating between 4 3/4 and 5 seconds there. Billy Brickley there behind him, and we are under caution.
Wonder what happened there. It looks like we
So,
do have a caution. I saw some cars fall off pace. Looks like
so
Jay Stinson fell almost a lap down.
this is going to be the caution that a lot of these guys in the top 10 have been holding their breath and crossing their fingers for, Joe. So as we look at the replay here, you see Jay Stinson on the bottom, Jax Duvall in the middle, and Beverly on the outside. And it looks like Duvall gets a little tight. Beverly taps the wall, and Stinson just kind of, I don't know if he was going for a slide job, but he just plows up the top there. Let's see if we can look. I'm a little confused what happened there, but you can't go there. you just there's a car there. So as we look again, you see Beverly up top, kind of nudged the wall lap down, just trying to stay away from the lead lap cars. Duvall got a little tight, and Stinson just drives up the track. So I don't think he realized that the 84 was still there.
Yeah, definitely some debris left down there on the track, too. The 60 hit the inside wall very hard. All right, here they are. Here they are. See, here come those guys that have that extra set of tires. David Owens, Matt Novella, Joe Volpus, Tommy Fox, I think. I'm not sure if he has tires or what, but he's coming down. Matt Fritz, I see Stinson going to need to pretty much replace his whole car.
Yeah, you see he took that fast repair.
Yep, there it is. Swingle, he's coming down for tires. Burt Wilson, I think he got involved in that wreck, checking for some damage. Same with the 77 of Beverly, and the 84 is missing the whole front clip on the Goldfish car.
He's going to click. He's going to check the box for that fast repair. Voila, new car.
And going to put tires on as well. 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah, a Florida man sighting indeed. So we'll see what the Goldfish can do for you. You know, it's that, you know the catch line. It's a delicious snack. And he exits the pit there, and he drives through about 20 stalls. So, you know, the stewards aren't going to be too happy with him there. But he's back out on the track, and we're under caution here for the fourth time tonight with 24 laps to go. A lot of debris to catch up and clean up. And Joe, you know, and now that some of these guys have used their final set, they're going to have an advantage over those that have 10 to 15 laps on their tires from that pit cycle.
Yeah, so looking through the field, David Owens was the first one to come out of pit road on fresh tires. And you got Volpus, Novella, Tommy Fox with a 15-second stop, so I would assume that was tires as well. Yeah, that was his second time down pit road, so he's on his last set now as well. Matt Fritz with tires, Jay Stinson, Richard Swingle with tires, Duvall with tires, and looks like Brenner is going to forego his track position for tires as well.
Yeah, we haven't really called David Brenner's name too much tonight. 22's been kind of quiet. Usually he's running in the top 10 and always in play for a win. So Steve Lewis coming down for service. Steve Lewis still down 2 laps in 20th place as he had technical difficulties earlier in the race. Glad he was able to rejoin.
All right, so Steve, we're coming to 22 to go. We got guys on older tires. We got guys on fresher tires. You think we're going to go green to the end?
You know, it's a mixed bag, and there's fewer laps left than what we've started with. So I'm gonna say that we're probably gonna have another incident or two. These guys are not gonna play as nice. Every position is gonna be vital, and it's going to be a log jam to the front. So pace car off one more time as we go racing here with 22 to go at the line. Sean Walton fires off clean. The high line gets the jump once again. Matt Tucker right behind him. Daniel Smith got going pretty good. He's not going to be able to slide up there. And Tucker's going to have the position on the outside as Sean Walton's going to retain your lead. Billy Brickley in 4th place. Buddy Sully rounds out your top 5. 22 to go here on Friday Night Thunder on the MRL.
Guys going in the right direction, guys going in the wrong direction. David Owens moving his way forward already quickly on these fresh tires. Wrong direction. Joe Volpus, I think he decided that it was not Iowa that he was racing in, but Japan. And he's fallen all the way back to 14th.
Joe Volpus fading here in the closing moments of the race. Hopefully he can regain his composure and regain his position on the track. As you see David Owens pushing pushing as he enters the top 5, as he does a crossover Jameson's nose as he slides under the 21 of Solly. He slides under the Billy Brickley. David Owens charging to the front with 20 to go. The action is picking up as we're 3 wide coming to the line.
We're going to be 3 by 3. The 63 and the 56 almost crash into the infield.
Ooh, I thought I about lost my lunch on that one. Oh, my goodness. As we're still 3 wide, Matthew Fritz in the center, Novella on the bottom. Oh, boy, case of beer up top. Man, oh, man, nobody's giving an inch on the track.
Man, guys, did we forget last week we were at Kansas? Not this week. Look at this kind of pack racing at Iowa here with 18 to go.
There's a hell of a race here at Iowa as we have 18 to go. Look at Glenn Jameson down there on the bottom. Look at David Owens in front of him. Wherever you look, there's action. As we see Daniel Smith and Sean Walton battling for the lead. Smith on the inside, Walton on the outside. They're all side by side. Smith going to get credit for that lap. 17 to go. 17 to go. Sean Walton on the outside. David Owens in third. Matt Tucker in fourth. Billy Brickley round out your top 5. Matt Novella making a charge as they're 3 wide behind him.
They're 3 wide, a couple rows deep here. It looks like we might be thinking about going 4 wide here off turn 4 potentially. Guys sliding up the track. We're all
Slide
over
job.
the place.
Jameson got away with the slide job right there. It almost caused the big one. And it looks like case of beer in the middle. Fritz below. Oh, my goodness. Carnage. Look at David Owens making a charge on the outside. David Owens challenging for the lead. Sean Walton in third. Daniel Smith on the bottom. David Owens with the run on the high line. They come to the line. David Owens, your new leader, with 15 laps to go.
Yeah, and these guys behind them, all these fresh tire guys, they're trying to work their way through this field. They're going 3 wide in a lot of places. Those fresh tires, I'm telling you, they're going to matter so much here. But he's the one who's done the greatest job of working his way through the field. The rest of these guys, look at them. Look at them. They're struggling to make these moves.
Novella on the bottom, Stinson the meat in the sandwich, Matt Tucker on the outside. Matt Tucker trying to hold the outside there as Stinson below him. Novella on the bottom, Billy Brickley in front. Look at Jameson. This is incredible action for your top 10.
Yeah, you could throw a blanket over all of these guys right now with the way they're driving. 3 wide everywhere up here, up front. We're going side by side in other places. We got bump drafting down the front stretch.
Fritz with the bump draft. He said, "Get out of my way. I'm coming."
Look at these guys. They're just racing really tight, really close racing. Right now, what I'm looking at though is Sean Walton is falling. Sean Walton, though, he is falling in a hurry as they get really tight there off turn number 4.
How did they not wreck? Look at that. Matthew Fritz escapes it. As we see Jameson slides up, Tucker behind him, give him a little bit of space. Vulpes on the bottom there, case of beer behind them. Everywhere you look, there's action.
Yeah, I'm looking though. You know, we were talking about Sean Walton, how he's leading all those laps.
Beer and Tommy Fox. Oh my gosh. 11 to go.
Can't even get a word in. These guys can't stop going 3 wide for a second. Sean Walton was leading the race pretty handily, and he's fallen down to 6th in the middle of a lot of this 3 wide action.
3 wide
you see him right there in the middle.
Stinson on the bottom and Walton in the middle.
No,
Contact with Jameson. Big one. The big one. Oh, my goodness. It was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of time. The big one at Iowa with 10 to go. Oh, my gosh. I can't wait to see the replay of this one. Oh, my goodness, Joe. What did we just watch? That was what a stretch. Okay. Look back at the replay here. It looks like Sean Walton drives up on the 63. Is that Tommy Fox on top of another car? And a monster truck rally breaks out at Iowa in the ARCA series. Tommy Fox going crowd surfing. Tommy Fox is my new hero, ladies and gentlemen. I love that. I think Smoking Joe is incapacitated. Smoking Joe, do you have a copy?
I think it got so exciting that my headset got muted. Saw the 00 was crowd surfing there. We've done a lot of these broadcasts before, especially on Fridays. We've seen people go flying and flipping at places like Bristol before. I don't think I've ever seen anybody crowd surf other cars before.
That was Monster Truck Jam at Iowa on a Friday night. Yeah. Can your racing series do that? What incredible action.
All right, looks like some guys, though, the crowd surfing 00 is going to definitely need to use a faster pair here. A lot of other guys with damage that probably don't have faster pairs. Some guys that were involved in the wreck stayed out. Sean Walton's in 7th. I did not see him come down pit road, so I guess he feels good with whatever happened to his car.
Probably very minor damage there. Just kind of running side by side with Jay Stinson there, and they were giving each other the business there, and Walton kind of got into Jameson there and triggered that. So, they're just aggressive racing, hard driving, and it set off the chain reaction. So we'll see if the 23 is in good shape to continue. See if he'll have that top pace. But we talked about fresh tires, new tires, and David Owens capitalizing as he is your leader.
Yep, and the next guy behind him on the tires that it pitted with him is Matt Novella in 3rd. So we'll see if some gamesmanship happens here on this restart. David Owens might take the high side here to try and bottle up the 56 from getting to him before this race is over.
Well, it was really, really tight up front. Daniel Smith was really giving David Owens a run for his money. But you see the fresh tires, Matt Novella making a late charge here as he is in your podium position in 3rd. Again, model of consistency tonight. Billy Brickley running 4th, has been in the top 5 essentially all night, Joe. Jay Stinson, another one running essentially top 5 all night. So these guys will still have something to say before it's all said and done. Tonight we'll have 6 to go as we cross the line. I think the pace car will have the lights off this time. So do we stay green the rest of the way?
Well, we do have some green white checker to use if we need to, but hopefully we can go green to the end here. I think we'll be able to hold on for a few laps. We've seen it in other series, chaotic finishes where we've been able to hold on for green white checkers or 3 or 4 laps without any incident, even with chaotic racing. Especially in Wednesday Xfinity, Thursday Thriller Trucks, Monday Mayhem Cup, I think as well, all had very similar finishes with how many laps were left in the race from the last caution. So let's see if that trend continues where 5 laps is the golden number here and we don't have any more cautions. David Owens did take the outside, like I said, though, there, see?
Yeah, I'm still trying to catch my breath. Pace lights are off. The pace car enters the pits as David Owens is your leader, entering the Geico restart zone. He fires off completely flawlessly. Daniel Smith below him. Clean restart, 5 to go here on Friday Night Thunder. David Owens takes him in through turns 1 and 2. Daniel Plant Smith in 2nd. Billy Brickley charging. Daniel Smith closes the door. Billy Brickley still on the outside there. Matt Novella in 4th place as David Owens holds steady. As we look further back, Matt Fritz and Jay Stinson back there, and we're 3 wide there. Looks like Richard Swingle on the outside further back, but David Owens is still your leader with 4 to go, Joe.
Yeah, it looks like David Owens and those fresh tires are going to win him the race. Matt Novella's going to have to make a bold move. Here he goes. He's going to need to make this work right here and now.
Down there, 3 wide, and he has to check up just a little bit. It won't stick down there as Billy Brickley holds it up top. Daniel Smith stays up top behind him, and Matt Novella down there trying to make the bottom work. He's running out of time. 3 laps to go. Jay Stinson in 5th place. Matthew Fritz behind him in 6th. Richard Swingle 7 car lengths behind in 7th with Sean Walton fading. I think there was more damage than he assumed, Joe, and David Owens is driving away with 2 to go.
Oh, they're 4 wide in the back of the field. They almost wrecked at the back of the field. That would have been the...
Oh, they case of beer in the pits, and we are going to stay green as he is off the racing surface. Something happened to Jonathan Casebeer, and he is wiped out. David Owens with a 10 to 12 car length lead as he's going to come to the line. White flag here here from Iowa on your Friday Night Thunder. David Owens is your leader. Billy Brickley a second behind. Matt Novella in third. Daniel Smith in fourth. Jay Stinson fifth. And it looks like the battle's going to be for second place as David Owens, Mr. Zero Chill himself, enters his final set of corners. Matt Novella, will he sneak and get second place? We come to the line. David Owens is your winner tonight at Iowa. And it looks like Billy Brickley for second place, Matt Novella for third, Daniel Smith fourth, and Jay Stinson round out your top five. Joe, what a hell of a race.
Man, you know what? David Owens did a great job there coming through on those fresh tires, able to win the race. Some chaos, though, there in the last couple laps there, see. Jonathan Casebeer not able to finish the race. And I also saw Jax Duvall and I think Glenn Jameson get into it in the final corner as well.
So it looks like there was some nefarious actions in the background there as we had a couple laps to go. David Owens going to do his celebratory burnout as he is tonight's winner. He played the strategy right. That late caution that we were thinking about did come out, so the broadcaster jinx was in effect tonight. But David Owens, a big boost for him in the points as he's going to win and solidify a place in the chase. And Billy Brickley, Matt Novella, Daniel Smith, Jay Stinson, your top five tonight. Matthew Fritz with a very strong showing, Joe, and East Coast Alliance own Richard Swingle with a great finish.
Yeah, looking on back through the field, Sean Walton ended up falling back to 8th, Buddy Sully 9th, Matt Tucker rounds out the top 10, David Brenner 11th, Joe Volpus 12th, then Tommy Fox 13th, Glenn Jameson 14th, John Beverly finally got back on the lead lap there at the end, get a top 15. Duvall ends up in 16th, Burt Wilson 17th, Casebeer there ends up 18th, and if we look 19th and 20th were Jake Shea and Steve Lewis. So that rounds out your field as we watch the 8-car do some Alan Kawicki style victory laps around the track as we wait for him to come park it so we can get him here into the booth with us for an interview with you there, see?
So, yeah, very exciting race tonight. David Owens is going to be your race winner. Very fitting. New number, updated paint scheme. He christened that pristine ride with a victory tonight. And I do believe we have David Owens in the booth tonight here. So we do have him ready for the post-race interview. David Owens, do you have a copy?
I got you loud and clear, see?
Hey, David. Okay, so I need to unpack a few things here. What we witnessed as this race unfolded was almost like baby super speedway action with the way cars were going three wide, slingshotting positions, just putting each other in unbelievable compromising positions. You played the strategy well. You had some misfortune early. You were able to rebound. Can you walk us through how that happened? Great win tonight.
Yeah, coming into this race, I love the short track. So just coming in, having some fun. Really, I missed a race. I missed last week at Kansas. So just wanted to come in, have some fun, grab some points, and really just the way these cars drive is just, it's so fantastic. I wouldn't say they're easy to drive, but they feel very planted, but you got to watch the tire wear. You got to watch how the runs develop with the other guys on the track, because you can really just get up to them, and just hold there. And the dirty air does play an effect to it. So yeah, early in the race, I saw that I was clear. Then I moved up late, didn't know Volpus had the run like he did, and I just compromised both of our races there and just put us behind the 8-ball. Didn't want to do that, so really just play the tire strategy there at the end to just make up as many spots as I could. I think I pitted like 9th or 10th, I think, but after the stops, I was able to get out to 4th before that caution come out. Just that caution saved me to give me this win. Had extra set of tires in the pits with a few others, so it was just a strategy game that played in my favor this time.
So you come out with a new number, an updated paint scheme that looks really slick on the track, and definitely was a good luck charm for you tonight, David. Uh, as Joe and I were seeing the race unfold, you kind of came early on what we thought was going to be the final pit stop with 50 to go tonight, and it looked like you started charging, but by the time they had all cycled through, you were still back there about 8, 9 seconds. Do you think you were going to be able to overcome that if we didn't have our final cautions of the night?
Absolutely not. It was just me trying to hemorrhage what bleeding I caused myself at that early wreck. So I was just hoping to pit early, make up the time that I needed, and just hope that the rest of the guys that pitted later would just try to drive too hard, burn up the tires, and let it level out.
Right, right. So, you got yourself a win. You really helped your standing in the points. We have next week off for the holiday weekend, and then we're off to Pocono in 2 weeks. What are your thoughts?
This car with the way it drives, and a little bit of testing I've done, I definitely see another pack style race, depending on how you hold your tires. But you're going to see some extremely large runs, especially down the straight of the front stretch and the second straightaway there on the back going to the tunnel turn. With how these cars are going to get these runs, so definitely see some of that, and it's going to be needs to be a lot of give and take with that track.
So, David, you got anybody you want to shout out tonight after that great race win?
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to you guys up here in the booth, putting this back on for us, showing the entertainment value of what we can do, week in and week out. All the guys that show up to the league as well and racing it, put differences aside, you get some great guys in here. I think I battled for 20 plus laps, case of beer. I think that was the most fun I've had running old tires with somebody. So really enjoyed that. And I know Sean Walton has come a long ways with his driving style. So it's really good to see different faces throughout the week, making their way up through the field and racing with a different set of guys week in and week out. So then just shout out to Joe Vulpes for putting on this league and really pulling out the ARCA car on this one with the updated one. So definitely just a fun time.
Well, we appreciate your time, David. Great win tonight. Hell of a race from everybody. So we thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. And we look forward to seeing you and the rest of the guys out there in action in 2 weeks at Pocono.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. See you.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner tonight, Mr. Zero Chill himself, David Owens, your race winner here at Iowa tonight. Joe, speaking of moving ahead to Pocono in 2 weeks, got a lot to look forward to. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that after we take a little bit of a look at our chase for the top 10. And looks like Joseph Vulpes is going to be your series lead after tonight. Billy Brickley definitely having a great points night. Steve Lewis, he's kind of slipped a little bit there. Tommy Fox, he definitely made some gains. So, Joe, a lot to unpack here after an incredible night of action at Iowa.
Yeah, the couple things I'm looking at here at this point standings is right now there's one person on there that has 2 wins already. That's David Owens. He's definitely looking like he's in the catbird seat to at least lock down one of these 12 spots. Whether or not he finishes top 10 in the points or not, just making sure he gets those 8 starts is going to be the only thing I think he has to worry about going forward. Everybody else, though, I think it's fair game still. You can just see how hard it is to actually get up to the front. The points right now from 4th on back to 15th there, you can see how tight they are. Pretty much as tight as the pack racing that we've seen so far this season.
So yes, still early in the season, but with this chase format, you definitely want to earn max points, get every little bit you can. Definitely participation, so your attendance is key as we look a little further back in the points there. You can see behind the cut line there. There's still at least 10 guys that have a shot at it. It just depends on their performance moving forward, and if other guys take a little bit of the slide. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see how we progress as the season moves forward. But on to Pocono in 2 weeks, Joe. Your thoughts on the tricky triangle?
Definitely a staple of where we've seen the ARCA cars race in the past. Pocono, definitely a great track. Definitely to see ARCA go to. I've personally watched them race around there at Pocono in real life. Always fun to watch what happens at that racetrack. We're definitely going to see what carries over and what doesn't when it comes to the way these cars race. Definitely want to see if there's more of that pack style racing. See how much the draft really does affect what happens on the racetrack next week, especially with those longer straightaways, 2 weeks from now with those longer straightaways. And we'll see if there's any sort of adjustments as well from series admins on what we're going to do with the series as well to make the racing a little bit more spread out. We kind of saw that tonight here with the 2 additional tire sets instead of the 3 that we've been doing on the mile-and-a-half tracks. A lot of comers and goers. Definitely saw a lot more spread out racing. 5 cautions this week for a short track, which is very, very good, especially with the way that we're racing there those last 20 laps. Only 1 caution there in the closing laps of the race. Definitely some great racing, and hopefully we can carry it into after this break into Pocono.
So some spicy little tidbits there to look forward to as we go to Pocono and beyond. So off next week, as we stated before, some of us in the MRL family will be at the Coke 600 at Charlotte to see the racing in real life, and so we're gonna take a break to enjoy that. We definitely want to give thanks to those of us that have served and those that we know have served, family members, as we reflect on the Memorial Day weekend. So with that being said, any final thoughts, Joe, before we wrap this up?
Nothing really comes to mind. Just want to thank everybody for what they do. This series has come a long way here in just a few weeks. Great to see so many people show out and race with us on a weekly basis now. Want to shout out everybody that's involved with the broadcast, across MRL. Want to shout out, of course, Buddy Sully for everything he does for us, putting all this together every week. Want to shout out our sponsors as well, Chantilly Lace. Definitely a big sponsor there on Mondays. Definitely a great partner with them. Too bad we couldn't get Brandon on this week. Hopefully we can get him on for after Memorial Day weekend to talk more about that with us there, C.
Absolutely. So we'll definitely hear his thoughts and get his input. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we head out. Our Thursday Thriller Truck Series had wrapped up this past week, and wish to congratulate Zach Panzarella for winning the championship there. On to the MRL Monday Mayhem Cup Series this coming Monday. We're at Phoenix. It is the cutoff race before the Championship 4, so a lot of building up and excitement to unfold there. And the Wednesday Night Xfinity Series, I believe, has 2 races left as well as they wind down their season. So still plenty of action, so stay tuned. But as for now, we're going to get on out of here. For Smokin' Joe, I'm Snake. This has been Friday Night Thunder on MRL. Good night.